Everyone, so today we're going to dive into something really profound. It's a poem by one of the true giants of Hindi literature, Ramdari Singh Dinkar. And trust me, this thing is a powerhouse. It's all about struggle, happiness, and timing. That brutal, often cruel importance of timing. Okay, let's jump right in. The entire poem is kind of built around this one haunting phrase, which translates to "no meaning remains." It's like the heartbeat of the poem. It drives home the central message and echoes through every single scenario that Dinkar lays out for us.
So what is that core idea? Well, it's actually pretty simple, but it's also devastatingly true. The poem argues that even the most incredible things in life, success, love, comfort, they can all feel completely empty if they show up too late, long after you actually needed them.
Now, to really get the opening of this poem, we have to understand this one key word, antarman. This isn't just your mind or your thoughts. It goes way deeper. It's talking about your spirit, your core being, that inner self. So keep that concept in your head as we look at this first stanza.
The poem just comes right out of the gate with this incredibly powerful line. When the inner self is already broken by life's constant struggles, even an ocean of happiness has no meaning. Whoa. I mean, that really sets the stage for everything that follows, right? When Dinkar is saying is that if your spirit is shattered, you're too broken to even feel the joy that comes later, no matter how huge it is.
And that brings us to the first major theme of the poem, time. Dinkar shows us that timing isn't just a small factor. It's literally everything. And he uses this really powerful metaphor from nature to show how help that comes too late isn't really help at all.
Basically, what he's getting at is that any solution has to match the problem's timeline. A success that comes way too late often just feels like a painful reminder of a past failure. This idea is absolutely central to how the poem views struggle.
The imagery he uses here is just crystal clear. When the crop, without water, has dried and fallen straw by straw, any rain that follows has no meaning. In other words, if you're praying for rain and it finally comes, but the crops are already dead, that rain doesn't save anything. It's just water falling on dead ground.
So from the laws of nature, Dinkar shifts gears and looks at the laws of human connection. He basically asks, what's the real measure of a relationship? Is it about who celebrates with you, or is it about who shows up when you're at your lowest? He breaks this down into two key pillars. First, just being there when it actually counts, and second, the power and the timing of our words. Let's tackle that first one. This next part is just such a powerful commentary on relationships. It says, whatever the relationship may be, if they don't support you in your sorrow, their presence in your happiness has no meaning. Dinkar is arguing that real connection isn't about sharing a toast at the party, it's forged in the fire of hardship.
And here's that second pillar, about our words. The poem says, when the heart is wounded by harsh words and riddled through, any loving words spoken afterward have no meaning. It's about the permanence of a wound. A late apology or some kind words that can't always undo the damage that's already been done. Okay, so now the poem shifts again and turns its focus inward. It starts to question the real value of the material world. Dinkar creates this really stark contrast between having everything on the outside and having nothing on the inside. And this slide just lays out that conflict perfectly, doesn't it? On one side, you've got countless facilities, all the comforts you could ever want. But on the other side, a body that's become a house of ailments. And Dinkar asks, what's the point of the first if you're a prisoner in the second?
And here's the line itself. No matter how many comforts one has, if the body is a house of ailments, then those countless facilities have no meaning. At the end of the day, your health is the foundation for everything. That fancy car, that comfortable bed, it all means nothing if you're too sick to enjoy any of it.
So, after all these examples of meaninglessness, late success, friends who are only there for the good times, wealth without health, it's pretty easy to think this is a really depressing poem. But it's not. This is a turning point. Dinkar uses all of this to ask a much bigger question. So, what does have meaning then?
And this leads us to the poem's absolutely beautiful and really subtle conclusion. See, the ultimate message isn't that life is meaningless. It's that we're often looking for meaning in all the wrong places, and, you guessed it, at all the wrong times.
And this is the final takeaway, and it's just beautiful. The poem argues that real meaning isn't waiting for us in some big future reward. The rain after the drought, the success after the years of struggle. It's here, right now, in the small moments that we so often just let pass us by.
And this is where Dinkar leaves us, with this final incredible thought. Where small moments of happiness pass by every day, the constant waiting for some great happiness has no meaning. It makes you think, doesn't it? Maybe the real point of all life's struggles isn't to get some big prize at the end, but to finally learn how to see and appreciate the little joys that are already here. A really profound idea to sit with.